coordination and the intel that went into the arrest of Kanu and even Ighoho outside of the shores of the country, it tells you that Nigeria has a lot of clout and when it comes to international relations and all of that, especially on the African continent. And if all of that went into arresting these people, and within the country that we have mastery and have authority over when it comes to jurisdiction, and bandits, are going up and down doing whatever they're doing, how is government able to do that with other people and not able to do this? That's part of the question.
Well, sincerity of purpose, that's one thing that we're not seeing with regards to handling the bandits, because yes, a lot of people said the same thing, that if you could carry out that kind of operation, getting Kanu back into the country, now he was arrested in Benin Republic, you have all these resources, you have all these contacts, you have these relationships. What are you doing about the bandits? Because for me now, they're no longer bandits, they're terrorists, because once you're able to have the capacity to shoot down a fighter plane, now, a fighter plane goes faster than a commercial airline. Now, if you have that capacity, you are no longer a bandit. It's not just about you going into people's houses to rob them or to pillage the place. You are a terrorist, which is something I had always said here, that we need to look at these guys as terrorists. They are criminals. All these nomenclatures that they've chosen to give them, bandits, terrorists, whatever, it doesn't work. They need to be treated like criminals that they are. And somehow we're not seeing such enthusiasm with handling them, which for me is quite questionable. Because as much as I salute the pilot that survived, it was quite a feat to achieve. But I would say that while we're giving him a standing ovation, we also keep our eyes open and we look round. God forbid that these guys go into populated areas where there are no-fly zone restrictions, and then they're starting to target commercial airlines. What are we then going to be talking about? Are we going to be having state of emergencies in different parts of the country? Or what escalation are we going to be looking at exactly? So we need to have that sincerity of purpose for which the federal government is going after these people that they see in their own perception or in their own eye as enemies of the state. We need to look, they need to turn that same energy inward to address these guys, because enough is enough, and it is high time that they show a lot more deliberate approach with handling these bandits, these terrorists, overall these criminals within our borders.
All right. Jide, you have often talked about the issue of there are agitations here and there. We have insecurity here, but let us address what is the root cause of all of these. You've always talked about that. Well, if we have to take that now on and saying, okay, let us even sit down and look at the socioeconomic, whatever other issues, what steps should be taken in that regard right now? And what should be considered in doing that?
Let's start from welfare. Nigeria has the largest deposit of proven gas in Africa. And as at this morning, it's reported that we can only generate about 4,000 megawatts of electricity. All right. And I think South Africa generates about 50 or more. If we have maximized our potentials, we'll be able to create jobs. We have 4 refineries in the hands of the government that are moribund and swallowing a lot of billions of dollars in terms of turnaround maintenance. If we have built more, if we have made them functional, we create jobs. If we refine the oil within Nigeria, we will save the forex that we pay to other countries to energize their economy and invest that in Nigeria. If there is justice, no nepotism, we embrace one another, you have what you're entitled to. There is peace in the land. In fact, the peace in the land, we attract foreign direct investment into the country. Nigeria is blessed. We won't have all these issues. But right now, it's like the adage of the elders, that when a bird perches on a rope, both the rope and the bird are not at ease. Because I look at it, when we go back to the perception that, okay, the northern people are oppressing the southern people, which we cannot deny as a perception. But I ask the same question. If you do a research on the poorest region in the country, it's the northern part of the country. In fact, Katsina State is the state of my president. You don't want to know the poverty profile of that state. When you talk about insecurity, the headquarters, the north. Is this how a nation should be? No. And that's why we are saying, can we sit down? The resources in Nigeria can take care of the whole of Africa if maximized. Now that's why people are talking about restructuring. So you see the Niger Delta region that has crude oil in abundance and gas complain about poverty. You see Zamfara that has gold that can earn that at about $2 billion annually, complain about poverty, and some illegal miners coming in there. Like he said now, I have expressed my worries. Now we understand that the Tucano jets are leaving America for Nigeria. Are they going to be shot down by the so-called bandits? Who are the sponsors of the bandits? We were asking questions. At a point in this country, you'll be reading news, 4 containers of tramadol imported in the country. And we're asking the question, who are the importers of this tramadol? So now we have radicalized some elements to terrorize the nation. They will frustrate your investment. So can we go back to the primary purpose of government as enshrined in section 14 subsection 2 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, that the security and the welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. And when you talk about semantics, security comes first. Where there is no security, you don't even talk about welfare. Okay. So can we go back and agree that, okay, Nigeria belongs to all of us. On the platform of justice, let's enjoy the blessings of this country. I won't have all this. Do they have these issues in Switzerland? Do they have it in Sweden? Do they have it in so you need in the UAE? We need to ask this question.
All right. A lot of questions there demanding answers. But let's put both of you on hold, gentlemen. Let's go on a break and we'll be right back on the program. Stay with us on TVC Breakfast. We're taking a look at the headlines across Nigerian newspapers. We'll be right back on this. Stay with us. You're watching TVC Breakfast. We're looking at the headlines across Nigerian newspapers, and have with me Dipo Yewole and Ejide Logun here, been helping us to make sense of the headlines we have. Now, we have more of the headlines today talking about the controversy around the arrest of Sunday Ighoho in Benin Republic, and the news, the back and forth regarding whether he will be extradited to Nigeria or not. All of that process, government is handling it, but we're talking about the reports we're getting that are filtering in here and there. Now, Deepo, the point there is, we've been talking, in fact, with my previous guests, we were talking about the complexity of Nigeria. Now, other countries also have their challenge. No, in fact, there's no country that doesn't have its own challenge, including the United States or even Great Britain, as the case may be.
We have a lot.
If you come to Nigeria, a lot of the challenges that we have, some analysts have said that our problem are generally or greatly avoidable problems if government decides to take action. Because Nigerians are they're just hard workers who just want to, just few basic amenities and then they move on. But if we look at the complexities, how far from solutions are we really if we have to?
Yeah, I had to side because so we're on air and we also have to be responsible with what we say. And as much as I'm not quite optimistic, I'm trying not to push out a lot of pessimism out there. But this much I will say, that we have quite a distance to go in terms of getting things back on track. We've been talking about security and other issues, and so far we haven't seen a huge leap in the last couple of years with these various issues. We're talking about poverty in different conversations, talking about different agitations. So the question is, either it's agitation or the issues of insecurity. In the last couple of years, have the government done what they ought to have done? Because most of these challenges, like you said, they are rightly avoidable. Today you have people from different parts of the country saying that, they want to leave, they want their own self-determination. The question is, what gave birth to those conversations? We didn't always have those conversations per se, and even if we had them, they weren't this loud. So the question is, over the years, what has the government done? Today we have 2014 confab that has still not been executed. Today some people are calling for another one, and I say it's a bloody waste of time and waste of money, because we already have one. Because the details in the confab of 2014, the issues raised there, they are still very much relevant today. So just pick up the document and see how we can have those conversations.
But on the other hand, the government in power today, when it comes from the issue of the political party, they were not part of that confab.
Because
you remember?
Yes. Yeah. So which brings me back to another issue around saying that either they were part of the conversation or not. We're talking about the issues now, not politics. We're talking about the issues. Are the issues valid? Because what you just raised now, saying that they weren't part of the conversation for the confab, is part of how they abdicate responsibilities of doing what they ought to do now, saying that, okay, all these started when the previous administration was in power, when the previous party was in power. We need to leave. They need to understand that in terms of governance, there needs to be a time where we need to set aside party affiliations and see that here we are to govern, and what is the purpose of governance? To move people from where they are to where they ought to be. That's the purpose of leadership as well. Are they doing that? Or they're saying that, okay, you know what, we weren't here when all this happened. Okay, now that you're here now, what are you doing about it? Because they need to wake up and say that they have a sense of responsibility with dealing with these issues. The issues are still relevant. The issues were the primary purpose of the confab, not saying that a certain political party was the one that set it up, or they were the ones that were part of the conversations or not. The issues are what we're talking about now. Those are the things that need to be addressed.
Okay.
The issues are what are the things that are causing insecurity. The issues are the things that are causing agitations. The issues are the things that they need to be addressed, and they need to be addressed quite decisively.
All right. Nigerians look forward to that. Now, Jide, we like